All right, so I don't have anything at all planned for today, mostly due to the fact that I had a bunch of stuff I had to do, and I kind of procrastinated a little bit. But today is June 4th, 2025. Happy Pride Month. Happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. But today we're going to be reacting to a YouTuber that I haven't really like watched myself, but I've seen some other people watch and whatnot, being Degenerosity, and this video is your wildest confessions. So let's see how this goes, and if you like it, let me know what you want me to react to next. I don't always do reactions on this channel. Most of them go to the dump channel, if not. But if there's anything else you want to see or whatever game wise, just let me know. Let's get into it. Also, I'm eating.
More confessions, where I read some of your wild and weird stories that you guys have sent me. I don't need a long intro trying to explain rada rada rada. The title is self-explanatory. Let's just get started. I have a crush on Yoshi from Super Mario. I made like 20
like
different
a lot of people
AI
do.
bots of him, and I've had like 4 kids with each of.
Wait. Okay. That's a lot different than what I was expecting. I was gonna say a lot of people got a little bit of a crush on you. They find them cute and whatnot. But having like 4 kids of them and like 4 AI bots is kind of insane.
You know they say start off strong, but this might be a little too strong. Are you okay? Do you need help? Like, I love Yoshi too, but Yoshi looks like a stray animal. It's like a dinosaur turtle thing. I don't know what Yoshi is, but there's
Close
definitely
enough.
no human traits to Yoshi. Has it ever crossed your mind
Extra
that
tongue,
this is
bro.
not healthy? You are already too far gone. So like, I don't know how to say this, but I basically ate a live spider for $2 because I need
Sorry. No.
needed to buy this thing in a game to gamble so I could win. I lost all my money. You see, the only reason you lost all your money is because $2 is nothing to gamble with. Imagine if you put in $50, you're almost guaranteed to win. All gamblers give up before they hit it big. Remember that for next time. I
Wait,
went
no.
downstairs.
Okay, I gotta talk on that one. Okay, so eating a live spider for $2 actually isn't crazy. And I know that sounds insane. But the thing is though, there's people who eat other animals. No, not other animals, sorry, other bugs and stuff like that. And like live, it's kind of a delicacy for some people. So that's not too crazy.
One morning in my college dorm room to see my drunk roommate making out with my professor. And my professor said if I stayed quiet, I get an A on my next test. So you imagine I never told anyone. And come to the next test, I see I get a freaking C minus. That
Oh,
chick
insane.
lied
I'm
to me.
snitching.
So I did the natural thing and ratted both of them out. And they professor got fired and my dorm roommate got kicked out. So I get a whole dorm room to myself. A win-win, I guess?
That's
a win
definitely
to
a
me.
win.
You get a high five. My homeboy got jumped over a bucket of chicken. It was crazy, but it was kind of his fault for bringing a whole bucket of chicken to school. You see,
Wait, you did not help him? You let that happen? No, that's insane. I wouldn't let my homeboy get jumped over a bucket of chicken, bro. Especially when the chicken was his to begin with. No, we're not doing that.
I don't really understand this confession. You blaming your homeboy for bringing food to school so he doesn't have to starve for the day or eat the cafeteria food? How is this his fault? If I brought a lunchbox
Exactly.
to school and a bunch of dudes jumped me, robbing me for my lunchbox, is it my fault for bringing a lunchbox to school? No. You just go to a school with people with no manners. Crazy that you victim blaming your homie. You're not a real homie.
Oh,
When
God.
I was younger, I would read fanfics all the time, and I would occasionally write fanfics about people and teachers at school doing it. One day, one of my friends found out, and that stupid stank snitch leaked it around the school. It was so bad I couldn't even show my face around school, and I almost got expelled. My reputation went down too fast, and people would read it out loud. In one of my fanfic, I wrote it with me and my crush. He ended up printing it out and showing people it like how Regina George did. At that point, I just wanted to move away and start fresh from all this embarrassment. In the end, I moved away, but there are people who would DM me and ask if I was the weird girl who wrote stories about the
Brother.
school. I think the moral of this story is never tell your friends about your hobbies. They will only judge you. I've stolen
Okay, first things first. Who are y'all friends? Like these are not friends. Y'all have ops. Like, come on now. Like that's actually insane. That one right there. Nah. Words. I'm not even gonna say it. But no. That last one by far the worst one so far.
hundreds of dollars worth of items from Walmart in the last year. Rookie numbers. You ever scanned a PS5 as a banana in the self-checkout? I don't think so. You gotta get those numbers up, bro. 2 weeks before I moved out of my ex-roommate's apartment, she kicked me off the Wi-Fi that we both paid for and lied to me about it. I work from home. She was a mess the entire time I lived with her. So on my last day there, before I left, I peed in her pickled onions jar. She was a
bro, what the
She deserved it. I hope she ate them all up. You know what? I'm on your side. She deserved it, mainly because she be eating pickled onions.
Okay, all right, hear me out, brother. That's actually, I don't think she look. What she did was fucked up, but the PS on her pickled onions. Maybe she was using those pickled onions like on salads or some. I don't fucking know, man. I don't think people just straight up eat like pickled onions straight from the jar. That's insane. My stomach hurts now.
Back when I was a little jit, I never changed my socks and got some crazy athlete's foot. Like every other week I had it. I had like hella skin peeling off my foot and it was disgusting now that I think about it. Anyway, I used to peel off big chunks of it and eat it. If you want to know,
you
it was
nasty mother.
It tasted low-key salty.
I want to fight him.
Need to know.
I want to fight him.
We all used to do this.
I want to fight him.
I never did this in my life. Huh? One time, a few months back, I had a girl in my class that I thought was fine. Like, I mean, a 10 out of 10. So when I finally asked her to be my partner, she said she liked me too. We were in love and I saw my whole life with her already. Fast forward a couple months and she wanted to tell me something. I asked her what and she told me something that changed my perception for a good time. She was a lesbian, and she was dating this girl for almost 4 to 5 years while she was dating me for 6 months.
Wait,
I was shook and didn't even know how to react. I immediately hung up and ended the relationship and reflected for almost the whole day. I gave everything to her, and she would break me just like that? I couldn't believe it. I've gotten over it after...
How does that work? Like, you know what? I don't want to know. Don't tell me.
A bit, thankfully, and I've set my sights on someone else. I know this is a confessions thing, but I was wondering if you had any advice. Thanks. Aw, man, that's sad, bro. By the way, love your vids, and you can't beat Godzilla, little bro. What? Man, I was feeling sorry for you, but
no
now
advice
you said
for
that
him, bro.
I'm not giving you no advice. Instead, I'm gonna curse you. I place a curse that all of your future girlfriends will be secretly gay.
That's diabolical. That's actually insane.
Don't you ever say I can't beat Godzilla again. You don't know me. When I was in college, both me and my roommate were hardcore weebs. We were so into male idol anime, and I set my iPad's alarm to a hot anime boy's voice whispering. Hey, how you doing, little mama? Let me whisper it. It went off in a crowded bus, max volume. It took me a minute to turn that. She was embarrassed as well. She pretended she didn't even know me. Okay, even though that is embarrassing, you should have kept it on for the rest of the bus ride. It's another way to establish dominance. I was once with my homeboy. This was in high school. I was young, so we were hungry and decided to ask our parents for money to go buy food. They said no, so we decided to do the next logical chain of events. Burn down a house. We broke down inside a house that was like a few streets away from our neighborhood and grabbed a lot of stuff. But my homie accidentally dropped a torch. I still wonder what it was doing there. And fire started taking over the place. We panicked and ran away. Next day, we seen on the news the same house and apparently it burned down with a cat inside. We haven't been caught and nobody knows we did it to this day. Please don't judge me. That was like a decade ago. You lucky I wasn't collecting emails for this confession, because if I was...
No. Come on, please don't judge me. It was a decade. No, I'm judging you, bro. You burnt. How did you? Yeah, no, no, bro. What? Are you serious?
I'm snitching. I have a boyfriend, but I low-key want to hook up with this guy in my theater program. Bro, just break up with your boyfriend.
Please
like,
do.
for real. Cheating is bad, and you also don't want to be known as the cheating ex. That label will be stuck on you for life, for good reason. And if you're already having lustful feelings for this random dude in your theater program, you're obviously not messing with your boyfriend like that. So you got two options. Stay with your boyfriend and work with the relationship, or break up with him and go off.
Yeah.
I know breaking up with him will cause his heart to break, but you know what's a bigger heartbreak? Him breaking up with you because you cheated. That's horrible, bro. Cheating should never be an option. Plus, you'll go to hell. And hell don't sound pretty. They don't got Wi-Fi down there. I don't like that. That's my advice. Dang, I should be a psychologist or something. One time I was in a bathroom stall and my intrusive thoughts took over and I wanted to see if I could pee from above the toilet. I put one foot on the toilet paper dispenser and another on the handicap rail and just let it rip. Unfortunately, I completely missed and flooded the floor. On the way down, I
Flooded?
slipped on the now slippery handicap rail and broke my arm. So what did we learn here? Don't try to do trick shots while peeing like you sponsored by Red Bull. Instead, always pee while sitting down. Men included. Just to make sure no splashes go anywhere, sit down while you pee, even at the urinals. Hello, fam-a-lam, big fan from Tampa here. My brother got the cops called on him because his bit was tripping. One day in October 2024, my brother came in my room talking about how he missed being in a relationship after breaking up with his ex. I told him to move on and forget about her. Later that week, he came running into my room crying his eyes out. I'm confused as hell and asked, dude, the F wrong with you? He then proceeds to show me his recent text with his ex. He went back to her, shake my head.
No.
After reading the BS on the screen, I realized the dude said he was gonna off himself if they didn't get back together that night. Even later that night, the cops come to our door for an evaluation check because the girl called the cops like the decent person she is. My brother has no game, bruh. Anyway, peace out, love the vids. Wait, I'm confused.
What kind of crazy?
When did this method get patched? I've been texting everybody I've ever had a crush on with texts like these.
Where's my daughter?
And you're
Insane.
telling me this method don't work? Is that why I never get a text back?
Most
I killed
likely.
the class pet on accident, bro. It was an ugly ass.
But no. We're not gonna say accident, especially when you following up. It was an ugly ass guinea pig. You killed that class pat on purpose. That was not an accident.
As guinea pig named some bullshit. I forgot the name. I gave the guinea pig half of my guacamole my mother packed for whatever reason.
What?
I did not know avocados were poisoned in them. Also, we had a rat infestation in my school, so one of the rats found its way into the guinea pig cage and bit the guinea pig and it ate the guacamole. R.I.P. little you probably tasted good though. Also, we saw a crucified rat behind the school during a fire drill.
What the fuck?
I once fake cried at a funeral just so I wouldn't get kicked out of the will. And the wildest part, I barely knew the dude. He was like my mom's second cousin's ex-husband or some but he made the best banana bread I've ever tasted in my life. So when I found out he was rich and dying, I showed up like R.I.P. King with tears on demand. 2 weeks later, boom, I get a check for $837.47 in the mail. No explanation, I cashed that and bought a weighted blanket, 2 anime figurines, and a mechanical keyboard that lights up. Was it morally wrong? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Would I do it again? Honestly, maybe. Depends on the snacks. I don't know how to feel about this. Yeah, it's morally wrong to do this, but the dude's already dead and he don't need the money, so... You do you!
Wait.
You
But I do have a question about that. So, you saved the rest of the money, right? Like, you're using that for other stuff because there's no way that an action figure, a weighted blanket, and a mechanical keyboard that lights up definitely cost it all $800 and some dollars, bro. Like, there's no way.
you. Back in college, I had a roommate who kept stealing my leftovers like it was a sport. I warned him, he laughed. So one day, I took a dump, froze it, shaved it like dark chocolate, and dusted it over a homemade tiramisu. Left it in the fridge like bait. Bro ate the whole thing and said, and I quote, "It's earthy with death." I looked him dead in the eye and said,
"Yeah, it's an ancient family recipe."
He licked the plate clean
Oh.
and asked for seconds. I packed my bags and vanished. Never paid the rent, never told a soul, never saw him again. And honestly, I never wanted to. Feeding your roommate Dookie Misu is wild, but you did warn him. I'm on your side. I
I'm
interned
on the
at a
side too,
hospital
I ain't gonna
one
lie.
time, and in the emergency room, there was some old lady who ate a whole bag of edibles. So when I had to clean up her vomit, she asked me, "Where are you from, boy?" And I politely said I was born in Florida. And she said, "Where are you really from?"
What you
That
mean
ticked
by
me
that?
off, so when I had to get her some water, I still had the bag of her vomit. So I mixed a little of her vomit
Yo,
in
come
that
on, bro.
water. She didn't even notice and I was laughing my ass off. W, my aunt being a terrible person. So my great-grandpa passed away recently, but when he was alive, my aunt used his money like the greedy demon she is. She bought Botox, a new car, and designer clothes. My great-grandpa couldn't do anything because he was an old, frail man and a bit senile. My mom and other aunts and uncles even went to court because she used all their inheritance money to buy stuff. However, when I was at my great-grandpa's funeral, I saw my aunt and knew she had to pay. So I went into the other room where the food was and put a little bit of laxatives. My aunt, being the fat bitch she was, ate 9 cupcakes, 6 cookies, and 4 slices of cake.
Damn.
A few minutes later, she was crying crying in the bathroom and letting it all out. None of my family members at the funeral ate anything because I made a group chat and told them not to eat anything to warn them. After the funeral, my mom gave me $50 and said, "Today, you made the family proud." That story.
That's huge. That's
I
huge.
hate your aunt too. So basically, after me and my ex broke up, I had a really bad episode. I have bipolar disorder, and I ended up talking to like 3 different guys and doing the deed with one of them. My ex got real upset because I moved on too fast. When he and my ex-friend were talking to each other, and they both called me crazy and got me sent to the psych ward. And then fast forward after I got out in about a month or 2, my ex is now talking to another one of my ex-friends and told me he didn't love me as much as he thought he did, and that he loves her more. Anyways, I might get back with him, so are you guys
Okay, so what? Okay, so what? That is the most. Hey, you could have kept that confession to yourself. I'm not gonna lie. We did not need to know that.
okay? Like, are you good? My family's from Africa, and one time while we were visiting, we reached a point in the mountains that was too dangerous to have all of us stay in the car. I don't know, they just said we had to walk. As we're walking through a farm area my family owns, my dad breaks out of the conversation he was in, looks straight at me and my brother and points to a spot on the ground and tells us, "Your uncle killed his own brother with an axe right there." They were fighting over land because one of them hadn't even paid off theirs and still wanted more. Went straight back to his own convo like ain't shit happened. I don't even remember their names. My dad had like 12 siblings, 9 now because of the war and stuff. Dads always have the craziest lores.
You ain't never
This
lying.
is just a proven fact now. If I could, I'd bag Pearl from Steven Universe. Any of them. Not the yellow Pearl though. I mean, you say any
Okay.
of them, but Pearl is your #1 option? What?
All right. First off, degenerosity. Let's relax. Let's relax before you start, firing off cylinders. Okay, Pearl's not a bad pick. Okay, Pearl's a solid pick. And I see you about to point out Amethyst here. I would still choose Pearl over Amethyst. That's just me, though. That's just me. And this is not like a weird confession. This is a pretty normal confession. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of people like this.
What about Amethyst? Garnet?
Garnet's
Blue
understandable.
Diamond,
Blue Diamond is definitely
Fluorite,
understandable.
bro,
Hell no.
There's so many baddies in that show. And you picking the girl who can't get over her first crush?
Okay, come on, bro. Hold on. That's PTSD.
So I'm not bagging Pearl. I used to work at a dairy farm, and I would make cheese. This one time, I beat my thing in the bathroom, didn't wash my hands, and went back to making cheese. I want everyone
Fire
to
you,
know
bro.
that this guy is probably making the cheese that they be selling at stores and restaurants. This guy and probably multiple other dudes out there are the ones that are making your cheese and selling them to you for you to eat. Everybody, go in your fridges and pantries and check on your cheese right now. You might find some extra cheese in your cheese. So let me start this story by saying I don't condone my friend's actions.
Okay.
So a while back when I was 16 and in high school, I was dating a girl. Long story short, after 2 years of us being together, in my senior year, I found out she was cheating on me. I was pretty sad, but it was a few months to graduation, so I just cried for a little bit and moved on. A year later, I am in college studying for computer science. One of my homies who I told about her cheating took an internship at a pharmacy. Anyway, my ex Max came in for some pills, and apparently this guy was still mad about her cheating on me. So he switched her medicine. She had heart problems, and apparently he gave her a different medication for people struggling with ADHD. Girl ended up going to the hospital because the entire time she thought she was taking her heart medication. My friend after this, boss checked the cameras, and he claimed he did it by accident. They believed him, but he was still fired. To this day,
Understandable.
I don't know what through his head. And the worst part, he only just told me. I had heard she went to the hospital, but he told me this year during a New Year's Eve party when I went back home. This happened nearly 3 years ago.
Oh, he's a
I've
demon.
gone a little low contact after that. I know this is a confession, but should I drop my friend over this? Okay, outside of the very bad grammar in this confession, you in college? I will also say
Damn.
I don't agree or condone what your friend did. What they did was terrible and very illegal. Putting someone's life at risk just to get revenge that didn't even involve them. That's crazy. Your friend was crazy for doing that. So dropping them as a friend is kinda understandable. But, okay, I'm only talking for myself here.
All right,
But
all right.
if I found out my homie did that to my ex that cheated, I would tell him, yo, that's mad wrong for doing that. But you did that for me? You did that for little old
I
me?
ain't gonna lie. That
You know, I might mess around and marry my homie, but that's just me. Oh my god, yeah! I gave my cousin.
hear me out though. I'm not entirely against what Degenerosity is saying. I'm just saying, like, I don't condone it, like you said. I wouldn't condone it, but I will be like, I'd be slightly touched at the fact that you did that for me. You shouldn't do that again, though. To be honest, you shouldn't do that again. But would I drop that friend? I don't think I really would. But I'd be like, bro, please don't do that again. Talk to me about it before you do something like that. Come on, man.
I gave my cousin head. I gave my cousin head.
Oh.
Okay, I know this one's a joke, but I've gotten a lot of confessions like this that go into so much unnecessary detail about it. This is one of the reasons why I canceled family confessions.
俺がバカなのか。ある晩、とてもムラムラしてかぼちゃを使うことにした。翌日、パンプキンパイを食べていたんだけど、前の晩と同じかぼちゃを食べていたことに気づかなかった。
Hi. Anata wa baka desu. Alright, so we at the last confession, and this one's a doozy. So a few years ago, I was dating this one girl. I thought I found the one. I really did. This girl was perfect. Thicker than Nikki. And just about the nicest person I've ever met. Until one day, at midnight, around 1 a.m., that's not midnight, I get a video sent from her number, and it's her getting it on with some Asian guy. Naturally, I cried myself to sleep. I was already plotting some shit. I wake up in the morning, and as I'm just laying there, crying in my bed, I get a text from her. She says she had gone out drinking and accidentally ended up sleeping with the guy. And he recorded it on her phone and sent it to me. Naturally, I didn't believe her ass. She even called me boohoo crying like I was the one who got cheated on. So I knew how to get my lick back. I couldn't let that slide. I was pretty close to her mom, and to cut a long story short, I told her mom about what she did, and that let me get closer to her mom. I started hanging out with her mom more and more until eventually she let me, and we kept doing this for a while. She doesn't have a dad, so don't worry. I would never another man. I got together a good few videos I was planning on sending to this bitch. But a while later, I found out that my ex had gotten diagnosed with cancer. So I sat there and thought to myself, am I really about to make a cancer patient's life even worse? But I'm in too deep now. So I still go visit her in the hospital with her mom because I think it's the right thing to do. Some months go by and she eventually dies, sadly.
Okay, thank
And
God.
in her final words to me, she didn't say it, but she had it written down to give the letter to me. And it said, I'm so sorry about what happened between me and that man. I really meant it when I said I didn't ever mean to cheat on you. I'm so sorry. I still love you, and I wish I spent my final moments with you in your arms. I hate the thought of you moving on to someone else, but I know I deserved it. I'm sorry. I love you. And now, I'm with her mom. Every now and then, I wake up feeling like a piece of shit for being with her mom, but I still am regardless. Moral of the story, don't ever get with a bitch who never had a father figure. That is a #1 sign to never get with her.
Say no.
Unless you want to get with the mom after your girl dies. Yeah, this one keeps me up at night. Bruh, that's what you learned from the story? You learned nothing!
Bro,
Okay,
I
that's all
can't
the
believe
courage
that
I have
was
with reading
real.
these
I refuse to
confessions
believe that
today.
was real.
What I've learned today is that you guys are very troubled people. Or you guys are very good writers. I don't know. I can't tell anymore. Thank you for everyone that submitted a confession. Unless you're a spammer, then I hate you. And in conclusion is my conclusion.
Yo, shout out to Degenerosity. I'll have the original video linked down in the description below. But on that note, I'll catch you guys later.